incurring lot of admin expenses or anything, because all of our time from volunteers is voluntary. Nobody is paid. We have to go in our vehicles. We have to do. So in terms of the process, right? Right now the Vidyanidhi drive has started. Right? By June, that's the academic term is starting. By May to June, we try to make direct payments to schools, not to kids or to their families, right? So in that connection, there are 2 or 3 approaches we take. First thing is we are in touch with majority of the schools and colleges. We try to negotiate, so to say, without calling it that. Try to see how much, what is that they can give. We are all doing it for the child. All of us are volunteers. What is that the institution can do on a one-on-one basis? So many institutions do cooperate with us. This is the positive, what I can say is positive sides of volunteering, and I have gained more confidence, so to say, in the society around me. If I was not working for Abhyudaya, if I was working only in the corporate, I had started disbelieving every other person. I could not trust anybody, right? But that is not the case anymore. And even when I go to an individual who is an industrialist, right? Most of the people are industrialists or they are well-to-do. We try to go to them and explain our situation and the case, and they do contribute wholeheartedly. So the generosity that they show, it is very overwhelming for us. So, and at least we don't care. We are in a way begging, right? But we are not begging for ourselves. We are something bigger than us. So that removes any guilt for us, right? We are ready to accept 5 rupees. We are ready to accept 5 lakhs rupees even better, right? So in that way, it has been a, I would say, continuous, ongoing, one-on-one kind of mentorship and hand-holding case of scenarios, right, in terms of pooling the money. In terms of due diligence on the beneficiary side, we have again host of volunteers who do visit each and every house of the beneficiary. So we do document, we use the technology, right? When we go and visit a house, immediately those photos are being popped up on our local WhatsApp groups, and we can make judgments, right? So whether we ask every question, are you staying in a rented place, etc., all those things, and we try to cross-check also if they have applied in multiple places, etc., right? So we do due diligence, and we try to support the most needy. So again, there is some amount of subjectivity obviously involved. At the organizing team level, we try to make it as impartial as possible, trying to take the need side of the equation put more weightage on that than the weight on the merit side. Because even a couple of other NGOs who are trying to coordinate with us, the Kagyakuta temple and all, they were trying to restrict themselves to one community or their own relatives, etc. After engaging with us, I am proud to say that their windows of horizon has opened up and they are really working well with us.
Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to call upon Smita ma'am to give a vote of thanks.
Okay, before I go to the vote of thanks, I'd like to take this opportunity to share with all of you, Mr. Vidyashankar, he gave you this invitation to work for his NGO, and you can actually reach out to him. But I do also realize that, Madhuri ma'am and I, when we were talking in January, and we realized we do not have a structure, in terms of to involve students in social initiatives. And I mean, other than the Rotaract Club, because that's already established, and they have their own agenda of activities, but like most management institutes, you also have like a social service or a social initiatives club, right? So we decided, I just wanted to share this with you. This is a management decision that along with the Rotaract Club, we will be starting a social initiatives club, to be formalized in July, the next academic year. And because I'm teaching the PGDM batch, so I already solicited just participation from my students. I mean, like, you're all my students, but then, I was teaching them and I got some good participation. So I wanted to actually also utilize this opportunity to tell all of you, your entire batch, that you're most welcome to come forward, because we'll be doing this in a more structured way July onwards. Also, we'll be calling another person in the early April, Chetna, who's trying to bridge the gap. She was working for 18 years in Infosys, and I called her for an initial meeting some days back. So she was with Infosys for 18 years. She quit last year, and she's acting like a bridge between NGOs on the one hand and corporates and colleges, on the other, to so they can have volunteering opportunities. Also, I realized I also have good contacts with NGOs, and we have Abhyudaya on board also now. You've heard of Akshay Patra, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so one of my friends from IIT, he went on to do his MBA from business school in France. He joined Akshay Patra. There's again another friend I remember. Completed his BTech from IIT Bombay, and he started a firm called Avanti Fellows, Avanti Learning Fellows. If you Google it, you'll find they've actually applied for funding. They got a Series A round funding, and Akshay Saxena and some of the other people, they had brilliant careers. In traditional terms, we think, okay, you get a very high salary. So they actually they're doing, full time. So Avanti Learning Fellows, and they also have very huge funding, from angel investors. And I remember when I was taking this course in Xavier in March 2016, 2 years back. So as part of my class assignments, I've actually asked some of my students to reach out to them. So the product head then reached out to me. They wanted some pro bono consulting with us, expanding all over India. And they wanted to know, how we can actually build our communication network, how we can actually, the growth. So when you're growing, you also have to figure out how do you, make sure that you don't fail, at that point of time, right? So there are so many NGOs who will actually, utilize your time, your energy. So whoever is interested, you're most welcome to come forward. And what I've been, one last thing, so I've been sharing with your G6 across the 4 sections, that we can have more activities in campus. And we're working on plans so that we have a more structured system. When you go and for your jobs, recruiters, they usually want to see what more you have done along with your academics. And I believe you do have some time, even after your classes, other than assignments, or on Sundays, if you could take out some time. So we would actually give you those opportunities and platforms where you could utilize your time, even your skills, because some NGOs may want your skills, right? Like just photo editing, Photoshop, writing blogs, and you can put that on your CV, right? And the next year, July, we'll form a core team, but we actually solicit volunteering and participation, so you're free to actually write to me or to approach me. EBIS 1, 2, and I understand business design is actually here. So we'd actually like to, involve the entire batch in this. And we might give you we plan to give a certificate, from the institute, when you pass out, next year when we start in July. So in April, in April 2019, when you pass out, so we'll actually give you a certificate also, you've done this work, for the club, right? So, okay, so thank you. I come back. Yes.
Fine. As you are mentioning, what I wanted to say was, in terms of structured approach, in addition to volunteering, maybe we can work with the faculty and provide you an opportunity to actually do a project more sustained, and maybe you can spend 3 months at Abhyudaya centers and you can actually work with the faculty so that you will get more benefit out of it, right? Instead of just spending a week or 2 and before you realize what is going on, you leave. Instead of that, you can actually make a project out of it, help us, help yourself also. You can
Thank you, sir. We look at that, collaboration. Sure, thank you. So I take this opportunity to thank Abhyudaya founders, and like we realize, they're professionals, they're engineers from like very good institutes, they're full-time professionals, and especially when I read Vidyashankar sir's profile, he's pursuing his PhD, in international in operations and industrial engineering from University of Bangalore, USA. He's also teaching in colleges here. So what I also want to actually, being a teacher, I really want to request you and encourage you to do like a lot more than, what you are currently doing. You have a brilliant opportunity here in Welingkar. Please utilize your time well. Whatever you're interested in, any kind of activities, cultural, sports, business activities, because it was very interesting to see, like, you wear multiple hats, and you're an Abhyudaya co-founder. And same for, Mr. Lakshmi Narayana and Mr. Panindra Kumar, he has his own enterprise, right? He's an entrepreneur. So, and he is a volunteer, he calls himself a volunteer. So thank you so much, for taking out time. You're all working professionals, and we really appreciate and the good work that you're doing. It was wonderful listening to your story. And I hope some of us will be encouraged, to give back to society, because that is the value I learned in my institute, that whichever stage of life you are in, it's not only money, your time, your skills are very critical. You have to give back to society, right? I'd like to thank my team, the BGDM team, so I want to expand it because I believe in being fair and impartial, and Arpit and Zia is doing very well. Right, so we want more participation, and at this point of time, I really want to thank Seth, Anisha, so who I can see right now, Simran, okay, Sanchita, Darshana, Kaushal, you all work very hard. Thank you so much, Saranga, right, all of you, in my team. Thank you so much, and thank you to the audience, to all of you, for taking time and, and coming here to listen. And I know you have your GCL projects, submissions and all today. So thank you so much, right? So we can again see you maybe in another event very soon. So please do give me your names in case you're interested. Please reach out to me or to any of your friends, right? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We'd like to, once again, Akash, we'd like to give, as a token of appreciation, we'd like to give mementos